Imagine standing in the middle of a massive arena. 50,000 people are screaming your name. The sun beats on your armor. The sand beneath your feet is stained dark with blood. Across from you stands another fighter. He's armed, he's trained, and he wants to survive just as badly as you do. The crowd roars, a horn sounds, and suddenly there is nowhere to run. Welcome to life as a Roman gladiator. Today, when most people think of gladiators, they imagine fearless warriors fighting to the death every single day. Movies portray them as an unstoppable hero battling for glory. The truth was far more complicated, in many ways, far more brutal as well. To understand what it was really like to be a gladiator, you first need to understand who these men were. Many gladiators were slaves. Some were prisoners of war captured by the Roman army. Others were criminals sentenced to fight as punishment. But surprisingly, not all gladiators were forced in the arena. Some were free men who willingly signed contracts to become gladiators. Why would anyone choose such a dangerous life? Because fame and fortune were powerful motivators. A successful gladiator could become one of the most famous people in the Roman Empire. Crowds cheered for them, women admired them, their names were painted on walls throughout Roman cities. Some became the equivalent of modern sports superstars. But before you could earn fame, you first had to survive training. And gladiator training was relentless. After arriving at gladiator school, known as ludus, your old life was over. You belonged to your owner. Every hour of your day was controlled. You woke up early, you trained for hours, you ate specific meals, and you followed strict rules. The owners of gladiator schools had invested early in their fighters. A gladiator represented money for them. Training a fighter took time and resources. The last thing an owner wanted was a valuable gladiator dying unnecessarily. That's why gladiators received surprisingly good medical care. In fact, some historians believe they had access to better medical treatment than many ordinary Romans. Their diet was also carefully managed. Most gladiators ate a large amount of barley, beans, and grains. The goal wasn't to create lean athletes. The goal was to build strength and endurance. Many gladiators even carried extra body fat. This layer of fat could help protect vital organs from shallow cuts. Every day involved practice. Wooden swords, heavy shields, sparring sessions, endless repetition. You practice attacks, you practice defense, you practice footwork over and over again. Because in the arena, one mistake could cost you your life. Not all gladiators fought the same way, too. Roman audiences loved variety. Different type of gladiators used different weapons and armor. Some carried large shields and short swords. Others fought with nets and tridents. Some wore heavy armor. Others relied on speed and agility. The Romans carefully matched fighters to create exciting contests, and the goal was entertainment. The arena wasn't simply about killing, it was a spectacle for Romans. A performance, a sporting event, and nobody understood that better than the Roman citizens and empire. Then came the day every gladiator thought about, fight day. Long before entering the arena, you could hear the crowd. Thousands of voices echoing through the stone walls. The noise was overwhelming. You checked your weapons, adjusted your armor, and tried not to think about what might happen next. When the gate opened, sunlight flooded the tunnel. You stepped into that arena. The crowd erupted. For a brief moment, you forgot about fear. You felt something else. Excitement, adrenaline, the feeling of standing before thousands of spectators. But that feeling never lasted too long. Soon your opponent entered, and reality returned. The fight began to the death. Contrary to popular belief, most gladiators' fights did not automatically end in death. Gladiators were expensive. Owners did not want skilled fighters dying every week. Many matches ended when a fighter surrendered or was unable to continue. Sometimes defeated gladiators were spared, sometimes they were not. The decision often depended on the event organizer, the crowd, and the circumstances of the fight. A successful gladiator fought many times over the course of his career. But every fight carried risk: broken bones, deep wounds, permanent injuries, infection. Even victory came at a price. Yet some gladiators became legends. Their names spread throughout the empire. People traveled to watch them fight. Children pretended to be like them in the streets. Poets wrote about them in their ballads and their books. Their popularity rivaled that of famous athletes today. But fame did not guarantee freedom. Many gladiators remained trapped within the system that made them famous. Others earned enough victories to win their release. A gladiator who gained freedom might receive a wooden sword as a rudis. The rudis symbolized freedom. For many fighters, it represented the ultimate goal: survive long enough, fight well enough, and perhaps one day walk away from that arena forever. Still, countless gladiators never got that chance. The Roman world was dangerous. Injuries accumulated. Age slowed even the greatest fighters. Eventually, every gladiator faced an opponent they couldn't defeat, or they suffered a wound that couldn't recover from. Today, the image of a gladiator remains one of the most recognizable symbols of ancient Rome. But behind the legends and Hollywood movies stood real people. Men who trained relentlessly, men who lived under constant pressure, men who entered the arena knowing every fight could be their last. Some fought for survival, some fought for freedom, some fought for fame. But all of them faced the same question every time they stepped onto that sand. Would they leave the arena alive? Would they build their reputation as a gladiator? Would they become famous? And now you know what it was really like to be a Roman gladiator.